Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to take a look at the Jackson JS32t, the Rhoades edition, in black. I'm going to tell you why I chose this particular model, and also after having it for 5 or 6 weeks, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the good and the bad I found with this guitar. Here we go. Okay, now first off, I wanted something simple, something basic. My situation is I haven't played in a band in almost 25 years. Okay, so I needed something to get back into playing. Now I have a pretty decent Ibanez RG series, I think it is, that I picked up probably 14 years ago, and I play that once in a while. The problem is I just want to pick up and play. And when I pick up my Ibanez, because it's got the Floyd Rose, because it's got the locking nut, I could never get it to tune and stay in tune, especially when I'm trying to tune to an album. You got to detune and move it around. I'm unlocking, I'm twisting. It went so far as I had to flip it over and unscrew the back and play with the springs in the back. And when you just want to pick up and play, that's not picking up and play. You were 15, 20 minutes or so frigging around with the guitar just to get it to play. And I just don't want that. I wanted something I could just pick up and play. I also have a nice PV bass, but it's got active pickups, and it takes a battery, and it sat too long, and when I went to play it, it wouldn't play, so I had to bring it to the store and have them fix it. So I didn't want a battery or active pickups, so I wanted simple and basic. No batteries, no active pickups, no tuning, no whammy, no nothing. I just want to pick up and play. And that's what I got here in this Jackson JS32. Something simple, nothing crazy, no locking nut, no whammy. I can pick up and play, and if I want to tune, I just go here and I can tune an album real quick. Now, secondly, I wanted something that looked nice. And jeepers, I mean, come on, this thing looks unbelievable. I've always liked a good-looking guitar. Even back in the heydays, I tried to always buy something that looked nice. It was kind of flashy, whether it was the color or the shape. I haven't had a guitar like this in quite some time. I think I had a PV Mystic back in the early 80s, and that was similar to this. But this thing, yeah, this thing just looks fantastic. When I actually went into the store, I looked around, and aside from the higher price models, I thought this was the best looking guitar in the mid to lower range. So that's why I really kind of chose this one here. They have a white model, as you can see in this picture here. That's the one I really wanted, but they didn't have that locally, at least not that I could drive and pick up, and I wanted to feel it. I wanted to put it in my hands and feel the guitar. I didn't want to buy it on the internet and then get it home and say, I don't like it. So I needed to put it in my hands and feel it. So with black being the only choice, I had to go with black. And quite honestly, I'm getting used to the color. I like the white, but I like the black here too. I like how they have the white down here. And you see the trim? The trim really makes this. It just outlines it all and makes it look good. So I did want the white, but I'm happy with the black. So as far as getting a good looking guitar, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Now you also need it to play well. So it can look good in the whole bit, but if it doesn't play well, then what's the sense? This plays pretty good. Okay, it's a lower end guitar. It might even be an considered entry level. This plays pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with the way it plays. I actually probably tried out 8 or 10 different guitars at the store while I was there. I kept coming back to this one. I would go and play this one, it's okay, and I play this one again. And I go over here and I play that one, and I just kept coming back to this because I just liked how it played. So I was like, you know something? This is the one I'm going to go with. I went to the store 3 times, and I kept playing it and playing it and playing it, and finally on the 3rd time I said, you know something? I'm going to take this one because this one plays fine for the price that I paid for it. So not only does it have to play good, but it has to sound good. And that's where it gets a little fuzzy here, okay? Because I go through, I have an effects processor here that I go through. I like a lot of distortion and chorus and crazy stuff on a guitar. So it's, you know, this has just the standard Jackson pickups in it. I think it sounds fine. Now, myself 25 years ago might tell you that it sounds terrible, but playing through the processes and the EQs that I have here on this pedal board, I don't think it sounds bad at all. I don't know. Let me play a little something and see what you think. Again, it's heavily distorted and it's all gummed up in the whole bit, but I think it sounds pretty good. I mean, maybe if I put some better pickups in, it might be a little brighter and catch a few other things, but for the most part, playing it through what I got here, I'm happy with the sound of the guitar. One of the other factors that came into play with choosing this particular model was the price. I picked this up for $269. Yeah, that's under 300 bucks. And of all the guitars I played some that were 300, some that were $350. This one played and sounded and looked and kept up with all of them. So for $269, more or less an entry-level guitar, I'm very happy with the price of this guitar. And the final reason I chose this model was right here. Jackson. I've always wanted a Jackson guitar. It is the staple of the heavy metal hard rock. Back in the heyday, everybody had a Jackson in the videos and on stage. I've always wanted one. And finally, here are my old heyday years, I finally have one. Now, I've always been an Ibanez guy. I really liked Ibanez. I've tried Fender and Gibson, back in the day. Ibanez was always just my choice of guitar. And luckily, this Jackson plays real similar to the Ibanez's that I really enjoy playing. So, always wanted a Jackson, finally got a Jackson, one way or another. So after having this for 5 or 6 weeks now, there's some things that you should be aware of, or keep in mind, I should say. First off is I can't believe how light this guitar is, okay? Probably because it doesn't have the big thing here and the big thing here and over here. I mean, it's got this thing over here that goes off forever practically. But aside from that, there's not a lot to this guitar. So when you put it on, compared to some other guitars, it's like, wow, this is really light. It's kind of good because you can play and you don't get as tight because it's not as heavy. So yeah, it's a really lightweight guitar. So that's the first thing I noticed. Second thing I noticed is that you can't sit down and play this like a normal guitar. Let me see. So I got a chair here. Okay. So I'm going to sit down in this chair. Now normally you would play like this, and well, there's nothing here. So you're kind of playing upside down. So you have to take the little thing here, put it between your legs, and then you can play a little bit here. But yeah, so when you're sitting down to play, this is how you got to do it. You can't do it the traditional way. You got to jam the V right on your lap here. So that's one thing to consider that I didn't really consider till I got it home. Okay. The other thing is the tuning. Yeah. Now I talked about the locking nut and the tremolo system. I didn't want all that. Well, the backside of the backlash of that is I do find that although I can tune to albums a lot faster, so I can tune down and tune up. Right now I'm tuned down, but if I want to tune up, it's pretty simple because there's no screws or anything or any springs to change. But I do notice that after I play a song, I do got to check the tuning and fix a couple of strings here with the tuning. So there's the trade-off between not dealing with all the locking nuts and things and staying in tune. So right now it's not a big deal because I'm just playing myself down here in a solo. So I'll play a song. When I'm done, I'll tune it. Not that big of a deal. But tuning, because there is no locking nut. Now maybe it's because the strings are new too. Maybe once the strings stretch out, it'll get a little bit better. But yeah, that is a concern. So if you're wondering, does it go out of tune? Yes, it does. It's not terrible, but yes, it does. You will have to probably tune it up after each song. The other thing is the strap. One thing I didn't consider until I actually got home and put a strap on is the position of the strap. Now you see it's on this side, it's underneath, and on this side, it's actually on the flat side, it's against your stomach here. It feels like the guitar is out here, okay, with this strap setup. Because normally you'd have the strap kind of on the top here, okay? And so it felt like you'd be looking down at the guitar just because that's where the strap was. But whereas the strap's on the back, it feels like it's pushing the guitar out, so it feels like I'm kind of looking over the top here. So I've had to adjust my playing a little bit because of where the strap location is. Okay, that's another thing I didn't realize when I was playing at the store. Not a deal breaker, you can adapt to it, but it is instead of looking at it like this, you're kind of looking over the top a little bit. So it's a little funky like that. Also, it feels like the strap keeps wanting to come out of the strap lock here. Because before it'd be at the top and it would just sit and gravity would keep it in. Well, now you get the thing in the back here, and yeah, so I got to make sure that it doesn't fall out of the strap. So the strap position feels kind of weird in this as well. Also, good luck finding a case for this bad boy. We tried every case in the store. They didn't have the one that was designed for this, so we tried everything from bass to acoustic to everything. And because of the shape of the guitar, it just won't fit in a normal case. So if you want to get a case for it, you are going to have to find a specific case for this guitar, and you're probably going to have to pay a little bit more for that case. Myself, I didn't get a case because I don't think I'm going to be taking it out of the house, but if I do, and I start traveling a lot with it, then I will get a case. But yeah, keep in mind that if you're going to be gigging with this or taking this out, finding a case is going to be a pain in the neck, okay? And the last thing is that, see the stand here? If you're going to want to put it on a stand, like I have here, you're going to need a tall one. This is a really tall stand, and still it's just hovering above the ground over here, okay? So a normal guitar stand won't do for this. So that's what I'm finding with this guitar here. Because it's got such an odd shape now, it's really cool looking in the whole bit, but there are some drawbacks. You know, the case, the stand, the strap. There are some very peculiarities, or whatever that word is, from this guitar to, I'd say, a normal shaped guitar. So keep all that stuff in mind. So anyway, that wraps up my little review here of the Jackson JS32t Rhoades guitar here in black. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, thanks for tuning in. And I do recommend it. I mean, it's not a top-of-the-line guitar by any means, but it looks nice and it plays nice, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Take care.